Good morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. Today's video, I hesitate to put out because I think it could be very dangerous for some of you if you don't listen. But first, cue the intro. I talked earlier about Tom Brown Jr. and he had a bunch of field guides to wilderness survival, first one I ever bought, field guides to plant vegetation identification, field guide to animal identification, things like that. You can Google it, you can find them. And one book I found, I bought them all used back before the internet. One book I found was Tom Brown's Field Guide to City and Suburban Survival. And I thought, this guy's like an outdoorsy kind of, tracker kind of guy. What's he writing about urban and city survival for? And again, this was, long ago. And what fascinated me about the book, I've always been a concepts guy. He took concepts one uses in wilderness survival and applied them in a suburban and urban context. And I thought he did a great job with it. The years go by, I become an Army SEER instructor, survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. And I got really, really into survival type things. Before that, as a child, a young man, in Boy Scouts, I was one of the first people to earn the Wilderness Survival Merit Badge. It came out like in the spring, and I earned it that summer. That came forward. Just loved it. And so I've always been into survival, wilderness survival. And I rarely talk about it here anymore. I'm talking about surviving what's coming. Total chaos, man. Collapse of the system as we know it, caused by economics or war or an asteroid or the lizard people, whatever. Raging roosters. But here's the thing. One can apply, and I do without thinking about it, wilderness survival concepts to what's coming and be prepared. That's why I talk about bushcraft. I don't do bushcraft because it's time consuming and I don't really have time for hobbies right now. I was just looking at we have passion fruit growing over our thing. But if you are good at bushcrafting, if you are comfortable in the woods with little, and again, do not fall for the trap of buying all the gewgaws so you can go live simply in the woods. Take a butcher knife and a metal can and go. But if you're comfortable living out in the woods with little, you'll do fine when you're surrounded by plenty. A concept of survival. Once one finds one in a survival situation, whether that's your plane went down in the ocean and you're bobbing around in a raft that is entirely too small for the number of people it's designed to hold, or, yes, I've done that, not the crashing part, or you're on a mission somewhere and all of a sudden you have to go into E&E mode and it's just survival, literally trying to survive. That is a huge, I'm going to stop this and show you that so you don't think I'm crazy. That is a huge grasshopper. Wow, look at the size of that guy. Woo! Can you see him? Look how big he is. Now that was worth a little chase, right? Whether you're on E&E mode or you get lost in the wilderness, whatever, you find yourself suddenly in a wilderness survival situation. One of the concepts is you don't throw anything away. because you don't know when you're going to need it. You don't pull the, you know those little, we love them. They come in a little box. It's probably way expensive for what you're getting. It has a little thing of tuna or chicken salad and a little thing of crackers and a little plastic spoon. You make those up. Yeah, that's why I'm fat. We eat stuff like that. But, you know, you eat that today and you're like, you pull the lid off. I lick it. Throw it away. Use your little spoon. When you're done, throw it away. Throw everything away. You wouldn't throw any of that away, because you could use it all for different things. A lure, a signaling container, start a fire, you know, whatever. Warning. I am talking about after an event occurs. I'm not talking about now. Some preppers, perhaps some Viking preppers, are also hoarders, or they're close to being hoarders. I myself talked about recently how when you live in the country, you kind of save things because you never know when you're going to use it. This is not one of those things. Okay? I give you the humble cereal box. Come on. At least all the Americans are familiar with this. It's what you get your morning cheer out of, right? Cheerios. But I finished this the other day. That's why I'm fat. Should be eating eggs with onions and green peppers for breakfast. But no, I tucked into a big old bowl of Cheerios. But I got to thinking about this from the world has ended. There is no more Walmart. There may never be a Walmart again. You have what you have, and that's all that you have. And I was looking at this box going, you know what? We would not want to just throw this box away necessarily in that situation, because check it, we're not going to get another box like this. One of the things one does in wilderness survival, and to a lesser extent bushcrafting, is create containers. Containers are very important, especially for long-term survival, to hold stuff. You make baskets, you make pots, you make them out of birch bark, you make them out of vines, you make them out of grass that you twine around, you make them out of clay that you dig up, you use some rocks, you know, whatever. You make containers. You use, you know, sticks and lathe and whatever, depending on what kind of container you're going to make. This is a decent little container. This would hold a fair amount of hickory nuts that you then stick up here for when you want to eat a hickory nut. This would hold a bunch of seeds, right? This would hold a bunch of everything, and it's a pretty sturdy box. And yeah, you would want to save this. Potential hoarders, I am not talking about now. Do not start saving your cereal boxes for Yah's sake. Come on. But think about it. Think about how useful this is. You know, my first thought when I was evaluating this the other morning, sipping my coffee, was that, oh, I'd make good fire starters. Well, yeah, but I've got all of this to make good fire starters. So how can we elevate the use of this? It could be your journal. Cut it open it up. Now you have this much cardboard and you write really small. Day 1, post-event. You know, lock the gate, gathered water, gathered people, you know, whatever. So that's that. Just the box itself is pretty cool. I mean, if you don't believe me, go outside this weekend when you have free time and make a container that holds this much volume this well from stuff that you just find out here. Then you'll come to appreciate the lowly cardboard box. Here's the magic. All right, I'm going to put this aside now. Yes, in a wilderness survival situation, a lot of this stuff burns really good, like the Ritz cracker stuff burns good. But I'm not talking about wilderness survival. I'm talking about wilderness survival concepts for end times, man. This bag, is that loud? It's probably making my mic go out. This bag is a waterproof bag. You could put whatever you wanted to keep dry in here, like Cheerios. Roll it down, seal it with 2 clothespins or 1 clothespin, depending on how dry you wanted it to be. And you have now waterproof stuff. You're going on a patrol and you want to keep your map waterproof. Now, are there better things? Yes, there are. Ziploc bags are better. Why? For a patrol. That's very loud. But what if you just wanted to keep the moisture out of it? What if you ground some wheat and you don't have a Tupperware container or something? You put it in here, you roll it up, you stick it in a box, and you put it over here until you need it again. Whatever. The bottom line is, this is an amazing thing when you can't get any more. That's the bigger concept. When there's no more of this suddenly becomes not trash. This becomes a valuable resource. Do you know how to deal with a sucking chest wound with this? Oh yeah, you can. If you don't know how, you probably should learn that one. So it's just a different way of thinking about things. Hold on, let me see if I can get this without ripping out the mic. And so yes, this is going to be trash in the Fox household, but I've been saving it for a couple days just to remind me to do this video. But you have to start thinking about things differently when you'll never get it again. The world's never gonna be the same. Embrace the new reality. Did you ever read that book? A lot of you have, because I've mentioned it here before. If you haven't, I recommend it. Robert Heinlein, Tunnel in the Sky. I don't even want to tell you what the book's about because it's got like a cool little right in the beginning of it. But basically, you got to get your head wrapped around things have changed. We need to adapt to the new normal. So, think about it. Last warning, do not start saving old cereal boxes. There'll be plenty of time for that later. Okay, seriously. If you've got a stack of old cereal boxes in your front part of your living room piled to the ceiling, don't blame me. I didn't tell you to do that. I have one area where I kind of do that, where I kind of hoard a little bit. And that is feed sacks and dog food bags. Our feed comes in 40 to 50 pound sacks. Our dog food comes in 40 to 50 pound sacks. I save them all. I make sure they're as empty as I can get them, and then I fold them up, I roll them up, I tie them with a little piece of string, and I stick them in another bag. Why? Sandbags. Mostly sandbags. And in fact, when we had a great spring flood here one time, I used some of them for sandbags. So I do save those. Because when the event happens, what do I have sitting around here right now? Probably, not counting those, but full bags. I don't know, 10, 15, 20, something like that. Full bags, that's it. So, you know, I wouldn't get any more of those. So I've been saving those. And my wife's into it too. So she's, you know, we're together in our savings. So think about it. When things change, you have to start looking at things differently. Cheerios. All right. I'll see you out there.